Go for it.
Friggin' what up, dude? Strider Wilson, I'm the host of this podcast that's mine, going to be called History is Dank. History is Dank with Strider Wilson. Dankness from the
Friggin' what up, Dankatorians? I'm your frickin' host, Strider Wilson, fired up for another ep of History Straight Up Dank, dude. It's freaking dank, dude. We got Aaron on the sticks. What up, Aaron?
What up?
Dude, just chilling, dude. I have a confession. Aaron and I just had a nice little we're recording this episode pre-Thanksgiving. It's going to come out, of course, right after Thanksgiving. You guys are going to be hopefully still stuffed full of turkey and enjoying yourselves and freaking getting back in the freaking gymnasio, slinging steel over your domes, back to your daily grinds and commutes and crushing freaking this up of your pod, dude. Get this in your pod ritual, dude. But dude, let me tell you, dude, I just had my freaking belly stuffed full of Five Guys.
Yeah.
Bro, I told Aaron, I go, dude, let's do a little feast, dude. Let's have a little fun. We'll do a little Thanksgiving feast, bro. What should we get? Instantaneously, he goes, Five Guys? I go, you know what? Fuck it, let's do it, dude. And I'll tell you right now, I have to be honest, it was dank.
That's right.
It was dank. It was dank, dude. Was it as dank as In-N-Out? No. No. But I'll tell you, the fries, much better fries. You are right.
Thank you.
And the burger is good, dude. It's a double cheeseburger. I didn't mess around. I went classic, lettuce, tomato, pickle, onion, ketchup, mustard, boom. Down the gullet. I actually threw a little jalapeno on there for a little extra kick, and it was nice. Everything was fresh.
Yeah.
Aaron, yours looked very dank as well.
Yeah. I had bacon double cheeseburger.
Oh, dude, if I don't know if you've eaten when you're listening to this, but go get yourself some leftovers so they're still good. Maybe there's still a little pumpkin pie in there, dude. Go house that. You know what I love to do after Thanksgiving, dude? House pie for breakfast.
Yeah.
Because people are typically, who I'm celebrating with, we're full of it. I've had seconds, and come dessert time, I'm kind of stuffed, full of stuffing. And then the next morning I go, dude, let me get some of that pumpkin pie, bro, for freaking breakfast, dude. It's so dank. That's why you got to get a good berry pie. Mm-hmm. Dank, dude.
Yeah.
Do you like fancy donuts?
Yeah, of course.
See, I'm not into it.
Had them at my wedding.
What do you have, sidecar?
No, donut friend.
What do they do fancy?
They'll do like there's one called Drives Like Jelly. It's a glazed donut with peanut butter and jelly in the middle.
That sounds
cut like a sandwich.
Sounds pretty dank to me, actually.
Yeah.
That sounds really damn dank. But here's the thing. When I want a donut, I just want a classic, no frills. I want either a chocolate glaze or like a crumb, and I want to dip it in a scalding hot coffee, and I want to be on a stakeout, seeing if anyone's making me want to be like a cop, and just eat a regular ass dank ass donut, like a Randy's or some shit like that, dude. Very dank. Iconic, dude. Maybe you've seen them in the movies. A very dank donut.
Uh-huh.
I don't like messing around. Like my donut, like I like boning. When I'm boning, very, no surprises, nothing fancy, just sort of, I guess you could say a vanilla donut would be how I make love. Very vanilla, missionary style. And honestly, sometimes I do. My fiance and I lately have been getting having a little extra fun, where while we're boning, we'll sort of plan out, the next month. We'll be like, ooh, what were your moms for Thanksgiving? Well, where are we going to be for? Okay, so then I guess that means we'll do Christmas okay, we'll do Christmas back in Illinois. Nice. It's going to be, well, we should book our flights. Do you have points? Yeah, I have points. I got points. Okay, cool. Which card do you want? Well, let's use the card for our wedding. Let's tack on some points for there. Okay, so we won't use points, but we'll get points. Yeah, let's make points. Okay, yeah, we'll make points. Cool. That's how it's done, dude, because we're a team, bro. We're a team. Do you know what gets me horny, dude? Being a team.
Sure.
Very horny. Aaron, you get it.
I do.
Legend, dude. That's what I'm talking about, dude. Guys, it's a new level of lovemaking, and that's part of, quote, keeping it fresh. Some people keep it fresh. Oh, role play. No, I keep it fresh by having a good game plan, I keep it fresh by literally switching to hypoallergenic detergent. And then while we're boning, and I'm usually on the bottom because I'm a finesse bottom, then I go, hey, want to switch it up? And, you know, my Dank fiance is like, yeah, let's switch it up. And then I go, do you notice something? And she goes, yeah, it's hypoallergenic detergent that you got. You listened. And I go, yeah, I listened. We're a fucking team. It's legit. That's how I like to get after it, Aaron. That's how I like to get after it, dude. So just honesty right there, you know, just coming at you guys with that. Fired up. And look, I'm about being honest right now. Did I have to share that? No. Actually, yeah, I did. I need to share these things. But did I want to lie about my Five Guys experience and absolutely thrash it on here? I did. But I have to tell you, I couldn't. I could never look Aaron in the eye again because he saw me absolutely inhale that burger.
Mm-hmm.
And if I would have come on here and been like, oh, dude, wasn't that good? He'd go, what are you talking about, bro?
Yeah.
It would have been a bold-faced lie. And it's dank. But I'll tell you right now, I ain't going there. It is a different, it might be apples and oranges because
it is.
Five Guys is a different experience. Also price-wise.
Price-wise, big difference.
Ain't cheap. No. It's more along the lines of a Shake Shack. Shake Shack and Five Guys is a more comparable comparison. In-N-Out is more comparable to like, I don't know, like a regular old fast food spot, but it's just way danker. So, very dank, very dank. It's just a good old burger, dude. And you got to inhale it, dude. And look, I'm talking about loving my fiance right now, and you know, I've got nothing but nice things to say. But look, we love people for their imperfections. Am I right, Aaron?
Yeah.
Beauty is fleeting. Beauty has to be it has to be flawed in order for it to be beautiful, right? It can't just be. There is no perfect circle. You know what I mean? But something comes close to it, and the edges and the roughness around the edges is what, you know, makes it unique, and there's beauty in that. And basically that's a preface for me saying, you know, like when you're about to talk shit on a friend, dude, pretty good guy, but dude, I fucking hate this dude, like doing something like that. Where my fiance and I were crushing In-N-Out on the way back from Chris Parr's legit-ass wedding this weekend down in San Diego, which was dank. Really close to Black's Beach, which was what we covered on the last episode. And she ordered a grilled cheese and proceeded to eat all of her fries before eating her grilled cheese. And I was like, what are you doing, dude? Your grilled cheese is getting cold. The cheese needs to be grilled and hot for you to maximize your enjoyment. And she's like, dude, just let me, I'm eating my meal and enjoying it. And I'm like, that's true. It's undeniably great point, good call. But at the same time, what are you doing? Because then she proceeded to pull the pickles out of, because she got animal style, she'd pull the little pickles out and then just eat the pickles one by one, which honestly, if I saw an adult male doing that, like wearing a baseball hat, sitting at a table by himself, I'd think, there's a body in his trunk. Where's his car? Where's his 1989 F-150 with dually wheels where there's a body in the back of it? And I would imagine that's what my fiance would be driving. The way she eats that. Honestly, and I was telling Aaron this, if she would have ordered a vanilla milkshake, we'd be divorced before we're even married because she's a serial killer.
Yeah.
That's a serial killer meal. Eating stuff one at a time. Have we covered this on the pod, Aaron, for your Thanksgiving dinner plate? You stack it up, it's dank, it's ready to go. Are you the type of guy who eats like all your cream corn, all your potato, all your stuffing, all your turkey? Or do you fucking mix and match bites? Make it dank.
I'll probably mix and match bites, but I do like a little separation on the plate.
Yeah, I don't just slop it all on there. We're not animals.
Yeah.
No, we're not making a bowl. This isn't a freaking poke bowl where you're mixing it together. No. I have, looks like zones on my plate, but I will on my fork, I'll take a little stuffing with a little potatoes, and then I'll eat a piece of turkey, then go back to some corn.
Yeah.
I'm bouncing around.
Yeah, I don't mind that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep watch of what I do tomorrow or Thursday.
Please document it. We need to share it. I'll be watching my fiance, and then having my head on a swivel because maybe she wants to murder me the way she eats.
I mean, you're at In-N-Out, and she's anxious to eat the fries. I mean, I guess they definitely don't keep, but they were never really there.
True, and she gets them well done, which is the smart move to do.
It's the only way.
It's true.
Still,
you have to. Can I
get them triple done? Quadruple done?
Dude, I remember in high school you'd get like triple doubles or like quadruple doubles and stuff like that with just meat and cheese after lifting, dude. It'd be the best, bro. Just housing that with your boys, dude. So sick. Just creating memories, dude. Talking about your crushes, dude. Nothing like crushing a burger with your boys, just talking about who you got a crush on, dude. Oh, just takes me back, dude. Staring up at the moon, dude. And the
rep for what you're in a sleeping bag and you're talking about your crushes.
That's nice, yeah, like a summer camp.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, oh, dude, I got a crush on, Lauren from, Cabin 7 or something like that, dude. Heard we're gonna go banana boating tomorrow together. That'd be so sick, dude. Maybe our 2 cabins are gonna be doing archery together, which is so tight tomorrow, dude. Can't wait for that. It's nice, dude. Anticipation, dude. Sick. Anticipation's tight, dude. And you know what else is tight, dude? Our topic today, dude, which is going to be the moon, bro. Bro, we've covered the history of Earth and, man, the keepers of Earth, if you will be, even though maybe we're not doing a great job depending on how you look at the environment and stuff, but we won't get into that. But I'm saying I'm being a little bit biased. And, in episode 1, I said, look, I want to cover a medley of topics here, dude. And I'm telling you right now, let's cover another celestial body and perhaps our closest neighbor and only satellite, the moon, dude. Natural satellite, the moon, is what we're going to be talking today. The history of it, sort of a natural history episode, not getting into the men who explored it, but just like what's going down on that freaking rock up there, dude. Okay? So, but before we do that, speaking of our eats, I want to thank Farmer Sassy Sauce, dude. Very freaking dank, dude. Honestly, bro, would have to put these on some In-N-Out fries to make them edible. Got to tell you right now, dude. But honestly, it goes dank on everything, dude. It's got irresistible flavor, bro. It's got that sweetness coming in there, followed by a nice amount of heat. So, and also functions as a traditional mild salsa. There's 2 of them, dude. I like the one with a little extra kick, but they're both freaking dank, dude. And like I mentioned, you could put them on your fries, but typically I put them on my freaking breakfast burrito, classic tortilla chips, and my eggs in the morning. So really whatever you want, dude. Honestly, if your mom makes a bland turkey at Thanksgiving, sass it up with some sauce, dude. So go to farmersassysauce.com and enter code DANK at checkout for 50% off your first order. That's farmersassysauce.com, promo code DANK. All right, dude. The moon, bro. It's a beautiful celestial being. It's something that it's poetic, it's we are looking at the very side of the moon, and Aaron and I were talking about this before the pod. The moon doesn't rotate. It's not like the Earth. It's not rotating on an axis. It is just stationary and orbiting around Earth and moving about 1 inch farther away from it every year, which is a fun fucking fact. And I'm gonna litter. Just heads up, everyone. I'm gonna be littering this episode with fun facts, dude. And a reason why I wanted to cover the moon, not just to be unbiased and only cover Earth history, is because, it's dank to know facts about the moon. It's bared witness to many hookups. Romeo and Juliet looked at it. It bare witness to my first hand job, Aaron. Yeah. I received a hand job, yes, in high school.
From a werewolf.
Yeah, from a werewolf. Exactly, dude. And I'll tell you, in my mom's Acura MDX, and thank goodness she had leather seats, and it was a very quick experience, a fleeting experience, but it was a beautiful experience, and a lot of times things that are beautiful are fleeting. And the moon bared witness to that. The moon bared witness to Romeo and Juliet's love. 2 star-crossed lovers looking up at the same moon.
Yeah, man. Fievel and his little sister sang to it.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. It's been in pop culture many times over, dude. Gary Sinise had strange energy in the movie Apollo 13.
Yep.
Which was a movie about space exploration, the mission to the moon, space race, USA and Russia. Yeah, it's been the center of competition between nations for some reason. Let's all just go to the moon together and prove who's better. It's something that billionaires probably want to orbit. Right now, their billionaires are comfortable orbiting Earth. They've done enough stuff on Earth where they're like, I got to just go cruise up to space. I got to see it. I mean, never mind helping out anyone else, dude. Fuck that. I just want to cruise space. I want to get my boy. I want to get Tom Hanks. I want to get celebrities. I want to get a spaceship, and I want to orbit Earth for a few hours so I can have something to talk about at Dan's wedding next week.
It's only 10 minutes that they're up there.
I know.
10 minutes.
I'm going to tell you what, that's about It's about 10 times faster than the hand job I got. My mom's Acura MDX. Very nice. I was wearing board shorts to a movie theater. I was wearing Billabong board shorts. And the Velcro came undone. And it was nice. It's a fantastic experience. It was something that I thought, maybe we could have done this in the theater. And this was a circa when Black Hawk Down was in theaters. Circa that era.
I don't think you want to get a handy during that movie.
No, there's no, exactly. Mission Irene was just too intense. I needed to watch, the essence of that theater is no man gets left behind, and I was going to witness that. And then after, the moon was going to witness an act of love. And then I went on a big dearth of hand jobs for a long time after that.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. Maybe I wasn't that great at getting them, dude. Sometimes when I'm being hard on myself, I'll be like, I suck at getting handies. I'll be like, I just sit there and I'm just like, I'm like, I should be doing something different. Like I should be like saying something interesting. And maybe that's why I researched this, because maybe the hand job experience could have been nicer for the lady if I was telling her sick ass moon facts while I was sitting there looking up through the moon roof of my mom's Acura MDX.
Certainly. But I think if the customers keep repeating, then you're doing something right.
True.
I mean, what more can you do, really, other than moon facts?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, while getting a hand job, not much else you can do.
Yeah.
Not much else you can do. You sort of just have to sit back and take it easy on yourself and maybe drop a few facts about the moon.
Yeah.
And that's the essence of this episode, dude. There's a reasoning behind everything, and that's the drive. So, this goes out to if you just want to have a good talk with grandpas. Grandpas love talking about moons. And then if you are getting a hand job and you're looking up at the moon, you can share some fun facts. And this episode's really going to set you up for success for that. So you're welcome in advance, and let's cruise. So the leading theory of the moon's origin is that a Mars-sized body, think about that, dude, Mars, pretty fucking big. It's a planet, dude. Collided with Earth approximately 4.5 billion years ago. So Earth was even bigger. And then debris from that collision and that impact accumulated to form our natural, and I said this earlier, satellite. And then the moon, over millions and millions of years, it was very hot and everything, tons of heat because that collision, and these things are moving freaking thousands of miles per hour in orbit, right? Even though it looks like they're going slow, but they're covering such great distances. And they all got together in a molten state, colliding and creating heat and shit, and created one big object. And it becomes circular because of the way that gravity works and the physics of Earth's gravitational pull on the moon and vice versa.
Yeah. It makes a lot of sense then, because why it doesn't rotate, because we rotate because we have a core.
Yes. Our internal mechanism, our global magnetic field is due to our core and the heat. Yes.
And they wouldn't have that because it would be like crust debris.
Exactly. They do say, and Aaron, it's perfect that you mentioned this, because they say the early moon may have developed internal dynamo. That's the core. That's what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. But it's not proven. We don't know. We've really only been able to study one side of its surface very well, and then photographs from the quote dark side of the moon. And then you have these impacts. People say there's a face of a man that can be seen on that, and people have different meanings for it. And these years ago they thought it was oceans or bodies of water. It turns out they were oceans of lava and magma that since dried up, and now it's just basalt rock or some shit like that. And there's a very powdery surface on the face of the moon because it does get pelted, because it doesn't have an atmosphere like we do to burn off smaller impacts from asteroids that then become meteoroids once they're in the atmosphere. But these comets, asteroids, meteoroids just strike the surface of the moon a lot, so it has those craters in huge boulders, and there's mountain ranges and stuff. There's a highland and lowland. Those seas that I was talking about are called Maria, which is Latin for seas, dude, which is sick. That's a sick fact. That's something, if you're mid-hand job, you should probably just be like, dude, those craters on the moon are called Maria. And she'll be like, what? My name's Lauren. Did you just call me Maria? You'll be like, no.
Yeah, I was going to say, if her name's Maria.
Yes, actually.
Or Maria, especially.
Let's see. there's like billions of years of history. So we can study the history of Earth by looking at the history of the moon. The probably some of the most interesting things are these the Marius Hills and the lava tube pits. These pits in the Marius Hills is where they're located, which is part of the highlands. It intrigues scientists, dude, because the opening to a large lava tube complex under the lunar surface, dude. So they're like, what's going on down there? Could there be, it's hot, it's warm enough down there, could it support life? But it helps scientists understand the volcanic presence. So there's volcanism, much like we studied in Yellowstone, which is not something that teenage daughters are into to rebel at their parents. It's volcanic activity. And so these lava tubes hold important potential future astronauts can possibly explore them. And did you know that they're trying to reboot a moon program, Aaron, for us to go back there?
I mean, it's been a while.
I know. It's kind of interesting if you think about it. Like, we did this whole race to the moon and then just kind of stopped. But we just wanted to flex on the Russians, dude, because they were flexing on us, bro.
Yeah.
Russians were the first ones to land a vessel on the moon. The Americans were the only ones to ever go to the moon and have men walk on it. Do you know how many men have walked on the moon?
Something like 6?
12.
12, really?
I know, it's a good amount, right? All straight white dudes. Fucking assholes, dude.
Of course.
I know, dude. But not only reboot the program, dude, we're going to get some legit ass lady astronauts up there, dude, just getting it done, dude.
When was the last time?
Apollo, that's something that I didn't look up. Apollo 8, I'm going to do a shout out later. 13, I think there was like Apollo 17. Let me see.
Yeah, I mean, like, we were done by like the 70s, right?
Mm-hmm. Dude, also thinking about this stuff in the moon, December 1972, Apollo 17, I called it. What up, dude?
Wow, so we went 12 guys walked on the moon in the 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And we haven't been back in like 50 years.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I know. Because we beefed on the, we started getting into Vietnam after that. Actually, during that, to be honest, yeah, right in the peak of that. And when I talk about Apollo 8, we're going to sort of orbits, pun intended, around the events of the year 1968. Was a tumultuous year, the year of the dissenter, according to Time magazine, dude. So let's talk about just basically when you think of the moon, you can't help but think of 3 major sort of things. And I want to talk about this. I want to talk about tides, and I want to talk about moon phases, and then I want to talk about eclipses. Okay? All things that interest me and I don't quite understand, especially phases. Very interesting. But tides, we all know, and maybe this is just growing up in California, you know that tides are what are very much affected by the moon. And basically it's very simple. It comes down to the gravitational pull. And basically at the center of the Earth, the equator, and depending on where the moon is in its orbits, tides there's I think 4 every day, but it's basically a 12-hour cycle. So like high tide, low tide, based on how the Earth's spinning and the way, on what side of the moon. Like if it's away and pulling towards the moon, the water on the other side is going to be like pulled. Like if it could travel through the center of Earth, it would, but it obviously can't. So it just like repels. So it's just basically small distributions in the planet's friggin' water, dude. And it's just because it just gets slightly elongated. Like if you could literally imagine the Earth being pulled at the side into like a football shape rather than a sphere, that's what the moon's gravitational effect is doing. Obviously that doesn't happen because it's landmass and it's not super intense gravitational effect, but enough to freaking displace tides and stuff, which is still pretty legit. And then also the sun does have a gravitational effect on the Earth as well. It's this gigantic thing at the center of our galaxy. So it's like 360 times the size of the moon, but it's also way, way farther. Maybe I have that wrong. It's like 360 times as far away from the Earth as the moon is, and maybe even way, way, way larger. I think you can fit like 30,000 Earths inside of the sun, and then probably like times that by 4, because I think the Earth is 4 times as big as the moon, and put that in there. And this is all good stuff to think about so you don't bust too early while getting a hand job, so you got to think about that. If you're getting close, and then maybe share one of those facts out loud, and that'd be sick of you to do. So basically when the sun lines up behind the moon, it's going to be double gravitational pull, creating even lower tides, or vice versa on the other side, even higher tides. So these things are called like the spring tide, and the other one's called like the neap tides. Yeah, the neap tides. And these line up with like phases of the moon, typically the last quarter phase and the first quarter phase, having to do with like the Earth's orbit around, the moon's orbit around the Earth, and when it becomes perpendicular to the sun, which gets us into talking about moon phases, dude. So I want to talk to you about moon phases right now, dude. You got 8, dude. Aaron, do you know the moon phases?
I know there's like waxing and waning as part of it.
Bro, exactly.
Yeah.
So first moon phase is the new moon. So it's just, that's like when the moon appears invisible to our eye, just because the sun's light isn't hitting it. And by the sun's light hits it, all that, like when the moon's lit up, that's just reflecting sunlight. The only body, celestial body in our galaxy that emits light is the sun. The Earth does not emit light, it reflects it. The moon reflects sunlight. That's the only thing creating light. Stars create light, that fire, that galaxy, right? Or that the basically these balls of gas.
Well, the sun is a star. Yeah.
And the sun is a star. It just happens to be the closest one to us.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So you have a new moon, and then this is what I always knew as like waxing and waning. Starts out with waxing. So you get a waxing crescent moon. Then you get your first quarter moon, which actually looks like half of the moon is lit up, half of it's dark, but that's only a quarter moon. Then you get a waxing gibbous moon, Gibbous, probably saying that wrong. Waxing gibbous, which means it's almost full. I'll break them down a little bit. Then you have a full moon. So a full moon is technically the halfway point of the lunar phases, or cycle, if you will. And this is all based on, this is how our calendars are created. It takes about 31 days for the moon to orbit the Earth. That's how our year is based. And like the calendar started because the sun is perpendicular in January with that first new moon, and that's like how we got our Juliet calendar in the Roman times that we use nowadays. The Chinese calendar celebrates it like when it's like the first, like you have the full moon festival in Thailand, which I went to and was absolutely fucked up. And in fact, going to the moon on Molly, which was so tight, and housing Mai Tais, and then drinking ice that my stomach was not ready for the bacteria of, and had a horrendous next day, but was raging. Very, very dank ass time, the full moon festival. And now I learned that happens, on, I believe, the 8th lunar cycle. So that's tight, dude. Now I know about it. I didn't receive any hand jobs, but if I did, I could have told someone that. Actually, not back then, but maybe now. But I wouldn't go do that. So I'm engaged, got a legit ass fiance, and the only person giving me hand jobs now is me. And I'm great at it. I'm fantastic at it. The thing is, Aaron, I want to be confessionary right now.
Sure.
They say that a lot of my boys don't think that I'm legit at jacking off. They think, oh, dude, you're like in a relationship, like you don't even have to do that anymore. What?
Yeah.
No, I'm great at it.
Yeah.
I'm fantastic at it. I time it. My fiance goes out on a run. I'm like fucking Mission Impossible Tom Cruise. You know what I mean? Like, when he catches that drop of sweat with his glove, imagine what I'm catching, keeping the house clean. Okay? Okay? Don't want to get too blue. But guess what? It's my truth. Then you go to a waning gibbous moon from the full moon. So waxing first, you have your new moon, the beginning of the month, first pay period of the month, everything's waxing. Then you have your full moon, the moon appears full for a few days. Then you've got your waning gibbous, then your last quarter, then your waning crescent, and then a new moon again, of course. Invisible to the eye, but of course always there. So those are basically the breakdowns. And then they have this like scientific breakdowns of it, but then there's tons of like just gold stuff about how fucking you can interpret moon phases. Aaron, you don't strike me as a guy who's into interpreting moon phases, dude.
No, I would say I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not one of those guys either, dude. I would say this. If you're on a date with someone who is into interpreting moon phases, they probably are good at sex. They're probably going to be thinking a little bit outside the box. They're going to be probably open to more fun things of like, hey, I think we should get inverted right now and do it on this, standing up in this cargo net, because honestly, it's why? Well, because it's a waning gibbous, and that means that I should be thanking the earth and the moon for this past month that I had, and really clearing my mind of everything, and realizing that it's time to take a new step forward and gear myself up for the next month. And I think the best way to do that is boning standing up in a hammock. And I think maybe if somebody has like a lunar observation journal, they're probably new to sex. I would imagine they wouldn't be good at it.
Yeah.
You know? Or maybe they're retired from it. Maybe they've hung up the towel. They're like an old dude. Maybe they would actually be boning standing up in a hammock. Probably not during a waning gibbous, but probably waxing gibbous, I would say, because that's the time, according to the interpretation of these moon phases, Aaron, that you should be adjusting, refining, and editing intentions in the face of challenges from the first quarter. And I think it is quite a challenge to be standing up, boning in a hammock.
I'll bet.
You know? Or excuse me, a cargo net. You know, where do you find a cargo net to go? I mean, that's a challenge too.
Yeah.
I mean, you should set that intention. If it's the beginning, I mean, we're getting towards the end of November, but if you want to get towards December is going to be coming up, it's going to be a new moon. If you look up at the sky and it's blank, that's when you think to yourself, I've got nothing but opportunity. I have a blank canvas in front of me. What are my goals? What are my intentions? What do I want to do? Me, I want to prove to my boys that I'm good at whacking off. So how am I going to do that? Maybe by the quarter moon, I wouldn't want to send them a video. That'd be too crude. But probably I'd want to go out to a steak dinner and show them how chill I am and level-headed. Because after you whack off, you always have clarity. And they'd be like, whoa, dude, Strider's really seeing things in a clear light right now. And he's really understanding where I'm coming from, even though we're disagreeing on a certain point about, what apps to order or something. And they go, man, he must be really nutting regularly. And they'll conclude that. They will. And if they don't conclude that, and by the time of, waning gibbous, toward the end of the lunar phases, or, maybe even a third quarter moon, I would say, or just the straight up waning moon, to be quite honest, really towards the end, and a new moon. If they haven't had that realization, I'll say, you know what, I've tried my best. Things are out of my control. And it's more about self-care at this time. And quite honestly, haven't I been doing that this entire time? So, sort of a beautiful thing. So maybe I am into moon phases. I'm definitely not good at boning, though. I try, though. It's an effort thing. Effort, dude. That's what it is, dude. If you're bringing effort, you're solid. It's a big word. One of my favorite E words out there. Effort, experience, which is, people have failures, but another word for that is experience. You're learning. And another great E word is eclipses. The last thing I want to talk about in our moons. So basically I'll say about eclipses, I don't get them, dude.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I don't get it.
We just had one, and I didn't care.
And apparently they're all like, this is the last one for 600 years. But then I'm reading these articles, dude, doing research. What up? And there are anywhere from 4 to 7 eclipses a year. Okay? That's when our Earth, Moon, and Sun line up just right to create cosmic scale shadows, known as an eclipse. And they line up in a different order based on Earth's orbit around the Sun and the Moon's orbit around the Earth.
And not even from every point on Earth.
No. And there's 2 types of eclipses. There's a solar eclipse and a lunar eclipse. So that's what you need to know. If you know that...
There's a third also. The total eclipse of the heart.
Aaron, when you talk like that, dude, that's beautiful. You heard it here first. You heard it here first. That's the thing. That's progress. That's why we study history. We study history and we build upon it. We discovered today there is a third type of eclipse. And it is a total eclipse of the heart. Beautiful. The other 2 known eclipse types are a solar eclipse, which happens only at the new moon phase, so when it appears invisible to us, and when the moon is between Earth and the Sun. So during a solar eclipse, the moon casts a shadow on Earth and blocks or partially blocks our view of the sun. That's where you can get this ring of fire effect. It looks really dope because the moon is invisible to our eye. We can't see it because the sun is like behind it, so it's not bouncing or reflecting that shadow or that light off of the face of the moon that we see.
It's like it's obscuring its identity in an interview.
Yes, 100%. It's lying and it's saying, hey, I know how to use Excel, fully intending that they'll just learn how to do it on the job. Maybe they can do a PowerPoint presentation and relying on charisma, not actual slide authenticity or execution or graphs. Though solar eclipses happen as often as lunar eclipses, they are visible from such a small area of Earth each time that it's much rarer to encounter one. That's like when a little tiny shadow gets shot out onto the Earth. Mm-hmm. A lunar eclipse, on the other hand, occur at a full moon phase, when the Earth is positioned precisely between the moon and sun. Earth's shadow falls upon the surface of the moon, dimming it and sometimes turning the lunar surface a striking red over the course of a few hours. Each lunar eclipse is visible from half of the Earth.
Is that a blood moon?
Blood moon is different. It's like, yeah, maybe blood moon is let me look that up.
There's like blood moon, there's blue moon, there's harvest moon.
Yep, total lunar eclipse is a blood moon. Yep. So it's just basically a lunar eclipse, but a total lunar eclipse.
I know some stuff.
Dude, you know a lot of shit. You're an absolute beast, bro. And eclipses are sick, dude. Eclipses are something that your dad finds out and tells you to go look at. You know, we're going to go up to the hill. It's going to be an eclipse. I'm going to go see it.
I have a buddy who flew to like Missouri for the solar eclipse.
That's the thing is some of them, and I think that's where the rarity factor comes in, because a solar eclipse, it's casting the moon shadow on the Earth, and so it becomes dark in the middle of the day, which is very eerie.
Yeah.
And, you know, talking about ancient civilization when there was more, you know, lack of education and people holding power, and they would be like, oh, you guys didn't, the ruler would be like, you guys didn't pray, and that's auspicious and something bad's coming. But really it's like, nah, dude, this is just a cycle of the moon. It's just shit going down. You know what I mean? Just some basic science shit and nothing to be scared over. You know what I mean? The tides have rolled out. Oh my gosh. And I mean, it is crazy and interesting and a little bit eerie or whatever, but it's all just natural, baby. Nothing to get worried about. But people have been taking them, you know, using the moon to, in the sun, and like I learned this when I went to Tulum, dude. Like the high power or the priest order of the ancient Mayas would be like, you know, they would tax the people, obviously, give us your grains and everything, and they would say, look, you've paid your taxes this year, you've done well, and because you did this, and they would like collect it before October, and they'd go, since you did this and you were proper, rain will come and you will have good harvests. And they knew this, and they knew to collect it during this time because they built their temples to be able to study where like the sun is on the horizon and where the moon is during a certain time of year. So they knew when they looked out this window, and it's super smart, the guys that freaking made this shit using rocks and everything. They go, oh yeah. Because it wasn't like they had a calendar that they wrote down or something like that, or maybe they did and etched it onto a rock or some sort of tablature. But they would see that through the window in the temple at Tulum, which is a sick-ass place if you've never been, and a sick-ass ways right below it. And, you know, dank-ass, freaking legit-ass chile rellenos that I had there that absolutely destroyed my stomach, but it was very dank when I ate it. And, dude, the high priest would look out that little freaking, not window because it wasn't glass, but that, you know, area of the temple, and then when he would see the sun setting in there, he would know in a certain time of year, I'm gonna promise the people rain, and that would come, and that's only because it was freaking autumn, bro. Whack, dude. Knowledge is power, dude. Knowledge is power, dude. And knowledge is power for you when you're getting your HJ, dude. Fun facts, bro. You know, another fun fact, dude, and told you I was gonna pepper these in. During the 1950s, the U.S. considered detonating a nuclear bomb on the moon. Did you know that? Project...
so insane.
Yeah, it's called Project A119. And the only reason they wanted to do it is so they could show the Russians the capability that we had. Fucking blow this up on the moon, dude. I'll do this. It's like when a buff dude like is in a fight at a party and like punches a microwave. He's like, that could be your head. It's all the United States was doing. The coldest temperatures in the solar system have been recorded at the moon's poles. Some polar craters darkened by permanent shadows harbor hidden water ice. So potential for life down there. Its temperatures are like negative 400 Celsius, by the way.
Wow.
Yeah. You imagine how little my dong would be there, dude?
Non-existent.
Exactly, dude. Exactly, bro. I mean, that's basically like a good overview of the sort of history of the moon, the development of the moon, its natural phases. It tilts every so often just because of gravitational pull, maybe about a few degrees one way or the other. And then depending where the Earth is on its orbit, Earth is about at a 23.5 degree tilt on its axes. And that's, you know, wobbling a little bit each year. And the moon tilts a little bit, but like Aaron mentioned, it doesn't rotate on an axis like Earth does. It's stationary as it goes around the Earth. We're always looking at the same side of it. But due to those gravitational pulls, the moon will tilt ever so slightly. So we can observe the backside of the dark side of the moon a little bit each year using telescopes and shit, which is kind of sick. And that's a tight fact to know. And then I did mention I want to give a shout out. Everyone's heard of Apollo 11, then of course Apollo 13, but not many people know about Apollo 8, which was absolutely a legit mission. But before I mention Apollo 8, dude, I want to real quick say one more time, dude, that I'm fired up to have the folks at Farmer's Sassy Sauce sponsoring this episode of the pod, dude. Dude, when you treat yourself to a Farmer's Sassy Sauce, you're helping the pod too, dude. We've got a nice relationship set up, dude, where it's a family-run business. It's Ben and his dank-ass dad, dude, slinging up some legit sauce, dude, some sassy sauce, dude. It's got legit amount of sweetness and, you know, followed by that nice level of heat. And I'm telling you, I love it, dude. I put it on my avocado toast because I'm a millennial. I eat avocado toast and it makes my grandpa mad, dude, even though I never met him, dude. And you know, I put it on fish tacos. I'm over here in SoCal. You put it on your deep dish pizza if you're eating it in freaking Chicago. You're Joe Marisi. Maybe he's putting it on his barbecue down there in Austin where he's living now. I don't know. All I'm saying is it's dank on lots of stuff. It's family run. You know, we love to support a small business. And when you do, if you want to get some sassy sauce and put in some stockings this year for Christmas, dude, someone's being a little too sassy at freaking Christmas table, you know, sharing their opinions or whatever it is too much, dude. Talking politics, talking religion, whatever it is. Sauce them. Get them some sassy sauce. That's what I'd be doing. Putting it in their stockings, dude. A freaking fire call, dude. It's legit. It's gonna make their meals dank. You know what I mean? And they're gonna be eating so much that they're not gonna be opening their mouth sharing their opinions, dude. So that's legit. 2 for 1 right there. So you're helping yourself out. You're helping your ears out. If you're purchasing sassy sauce, you're helping out a family-run business, Ben and his dank dad, and the pod itself. So it's legit, man. Give it a try. It's really, really good, dude. They started back in 1996, and they're ever growing, and it's very, very dank, and they're making their way across festivals and starting out from the great city of Indianapolis and moving upwards and onwards. So I'm fired up, dude, to have them as a sponsor, and I'm friggin' fired up to be putting it on my dank eggs in the morning, dude. So for listeners, you can get 50% off your first order with code DANK at checkout. Go to farmersassysauce.com and enter code DANK at checkout for 50% off your first order. That's farmersassysauce.com, promo code DANK. Dude, you know what was a dank mission? It was Apollo 8. So in a year of historic violence and discord, you know, you got the Tet Offensive, assassination of MLK.
RFK as well.
Yep, RFK, exactly right. You have the riots at the DNC in Chicago. Then you have Apollo 8, and it's funny because it's very nationalistic. Literally, the government was like, look, we have all these issues. Race, a war that we shouldn't be in, a draft, political turmoil, figures getting assassinated. You know what we need to do? Not address those problems directly, but go to the fucking moon. And they literally wanted to, like, unify the nation behind this. And the thing is, like, that is flawed thinking, but at the same time it isn't, because people did get fired up by it.
Yeah.
And they want to rush it, and it was such a political move that they're like, we're gonna do it on Christmas Day, we're gonna have like a broadcast. And they like upticked the science. They had like a Gemini program that was a rocket program, which, by the way, they use Nazi scientists, so tons of crazy shit.
I believe it's pronounced Gemini.
Gemini. Yeah, thank you,
That's
Aaron.
weird.
Dude,
I don't know why
beast.
they pronounce it like that, but they do.
Dude, am I saying gibbous right when I'm saying waxing gibbous? Or
I don't have a clue about that,
Okay.
but I know Gemini is a thing that they all say.
Gemini is a good safe word too. If you're in an MDX and a security guard walks by and you're getting an HJ in a parking lot behind a movie theater, maybe you could just be like, Gemini,
Gemini.
zip it up, chill. Oh, we're just listening to the radio. Thank you, sir. So political stuff aside, even though but you have to bet it in that because that's the reason the mission was upticked, and they probably didn't do as much safety protocol as they should have, although they, covered everything, but it needed more time, but they really wanted to rush it because on Christmas morning, they want to bring this country together in a year of, just sort of taking L's in all facets of society.
Yep. Cardinals lost the World Series that year.
Did they? Oh, Aaron, see.
Game 7 to
tragic.
Detroit. Yeah.
Detroit, man, tragic. Detroit needed a W, though, dude. They always do.
Well, they have won it since, but yeah.
Yeah, with Verlander, right? In Prince
No,
Philip.
1984.
Oh, 84. Okay. But this book I read is pretty dank, and it's called Rocket Man, dude, and it's legit, and it's about the three guys, the astronauts that went up there, Frank Borman, Jim Lovell, who was in Apollo 13. So
Tom
he never,
Hanks.
it's Tom Hanks. He never got to walk on the moon, but that's his character. He was on Apollo 8. And Frank Borman was the captain. He's a total beast. And this guy, Bill Anders, nuclear engineer and hotshot fighter pilot. And they make their first manned mission around. They go on the dark side of the moon. They take tons of photographs, and they basically lay the groundwork for every future Apollo mission of where they were going to land and help the scientists map it out. And they do a Christmas time video broadcast to Earth, and it's pretty insane, dude. So they're absolute beasts, bro.
Always bothers me that they could broadcast from the moon, and yet the Wi-Fi drops out here.
Oh, it's always insane. Or like any police video or any video that where evidence needs to be drawn from, it's the most grainy thing you've ever seen in your entire life. I'm like, we have HD cameras in my pocket.
Yeah.
Why are these cameras, like CCTV cameras, horrendous? Upgrade them, dude.
Yeah.
I don't get it. So anyways, that's sick as hell, dude. And anyone who says that, like, we've never been to the moon, I'm like, dude, do you know how much harder it would be to keep that secret?
Yeah.
And how many people are involved on these projects? And why would these guys who went to the moon, like, I mean, I guess they would have a reason to lie because it's sick, and then they tour and write books and make money off of it. But it's like, no, bro, they went to the moon. We went to the moon. It happened. There was a reason to do it because we were beefing with the Russians. And then there was a reason to stop doing it because that kind of came to an end, and we allocated resources elsewhere. Yeah, dude. And like Kennedy, the administration, LBJ wanted to do Kennedy right and say, we're going to get to the moon before 1970. And they did. And Apollo 8 was a big reason.
And then Nixon was like, wrap that shit up.
Yeah, he's like, we're done, dude. We're going to freaking invest in some businesses. I'm going to help our relationship with China, and I'm going to freaking go listen to some other dudes at hotels, dude. What stupid conspiracies have you heard about the moon, Aaron?
That it's hollow.
Hilarious. We just learned. I mean, it's a leading theory of how it was formed, but I don't know how a hollow theory gets formed.
Yeah. That it's not even real.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Very hilarious.
I mean, obviously.
Who doesn't believe in the moon?
There are people out there, man.
I don't think it's there. It's Ed Harris, dude. Ed Harris is Truman showing all of this. He's wearing a sick-ass Caringal hat, and, it's just giving orders, dude, and we're all just advertising to each other.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how you can prove science to people.
I know. I'm like, dude, of course I don't get how it works because there's people that are smarter than me.
Yeah.
That's like the reason I'm able to drive a car and like have a zipper on my shorts. You know what I mean? And fucking, like, I couldn't build this chair, dude. I could build a shitty chair.
Yeah.
Or have an idea for it, but it's like,
yeah, how hard is it to put together this chair with instructions
From IKEA. Yeah.
that someone had to write after he invented it, patented it. I mean, yeah.
But all of a sudden, when it comes to something that's politicized, we're all experts.
Yeah.
Crazy, dude. Crazy.
I mean, just the idea. Oh, yeah. Well, there's the other idea, too, that, like, this one guy one time said, we can't get past the Kuiper belt or something like that, which is a belt between us and the moon.
It's like a little bit of like a small asteroid belt, something like that.
It's a radiation belt, actually, I believe. And so the theory is that if we went through it, it would just vaporize everybody in the space shuttle. But what really it is that it's not a solid. The belt itself is not like a solid thickness, or you can go through it at certain points, and it's only like you're only flying through it for like an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So the amount of radiation that comes in is very minimal.
Yeah.
Compared to if you went through it at a thick point. And it's like, and NASA's got their science so dialed in, and they plan this stuff so far in advance that they know exactly when they're going to hit that belt at its tiniest point, so that it affects the astronauts the least.
Dude, it's pretty insane. And like the way that they time it, of like, we have to take off from Florida. I guess like it makes sense to get to the moon to like either launch from Florida or Texas, like if you're going to do it from our hemisphere and where we're located on Earth. Russia obviously probably has their most ideal point, but it's like then you would land in the Pacific Ocean, and it's all timed out in the calculus of it. Dude, it's crazy, man. It's just insane.
Yeah.
And you just like basically increasing factors, and everything's to scale. Dude, it's so gnarly
with
to watch that.
The latest shuttles that we had, like the Endeavour and stuff like that, like they could land like a plane.
I know, so
they
gnarly.
Wouldn't land in the ocean anymore.
That's so sick. You know, Jules Verne, in like a book of his in like 1860, so like 100 years before he went to the moon, said man would go to the moon. He predicted it would be Americans. He said there would be 3 men, and he said that it would go up and that they would land in the Pacific Ocean like in a pod.
Wow.
So he had like a ton of those facts right. Jules Verne's legit, dude. Dude, let's take a few cues and bone out. What do you say?
Let's do it.
What up, Schreider? Should I let my spayed 1-year-old pup Willow hump her favorite toy? Cheers, John. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I mean, bro, as long as the stitches aren't gonna come out or something, you can keep an eye on that. Staples or stitches. But then let her get after it. I mean, yeah, once the procedure's done and she's not gonna hurt herself, let her hump away.
Dude, when I see a dog hump a stuffed animal or its own bed, dude, I cheer it on.
100%. Dude, when I first met my fiance's parents, their lab humped a pillow, pulled a pillow off the couch, humped it. We all laughed. It brought us together.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful thing. Never underestimate the power of an animal humping an inanimate object. It's a beautiful thing that brings us all together. That's what the American government should have done in 1968. They should have just, instead of broadcasting astronauts from space, broadcast a golden retriever humping a pillow.
Yeah.
On Christmas morning.
Dude.
It's a good ass call. Gets my vote.
I start cheering. I'm like, go.
Yeah, get after it,
Go Rover. Go Rover. Yeah.
Yeah. It's your birthday.
Mm-hmm.
It's your birthday. Yeah, dude. Pillows are made to be humped. All right, here we go. Dude, my physical therapist, has been bugging me for weeks, all caps, maybe borderline months now, to listen to your podcast. I did finally and thoroughly enjoyed it. Women in War. Very nice. But since he's been bugging me about it for so long and listens every week, I thought I'd at least see if it was possible to call him out for his persistence. It's Thanksgiving season, and I'm thankful for him seriously decreasing my knee pain. If you feel like that's something you can do, his name is Alex. Also, he listens to you and still hasn't watched The Lord of the Rings, which I think is pretty appalling. Anyway, thanks, Jen. Also, just calling in for a little shout out for Alex, the personal trainer who has limited her knee pain. That's legit, dude. Sounds like he's doing a good job, knows what he's doing. Knee pain's no fun. I've got valet knee, so I get it to a degree. And yeah, bro. So she's thankful. That's a great thing, Jen. That's pretty dank. And maybe, we can even do on the pod, if you want to do shout outs, we always do questions, comments, suggestions, StriderWilsonShreds@gmail.com. Email me some shout outs, dude. If your boy or a personal trainer, whoever it is in your life, Dank GF or whatever, did something dank and you want it to shout it out, write in. I'll do some shout outs out here. So shout out to Alex, dude. Jen's thankful for you, dude.
Yeah. And watch Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, bro. Watch Lord of the Rings, dude.
It's a perfect weekend to do it if you could.
It is. You're going to be on the couch,
yeah.
fellowship, bro. Little freaking turkey and fellowship.
Yeah.
Let's go, dude. All right, let's do one more, dude. Shredder, what up, dude? Dude, I pound energy drinks and send emails all day. I'm absolutely beasting in my office, doing sit-ups, sitting on a stability ball. I work in sales and my numbers aren't that great. IDKY. I'm beasting, though. Any advice on how to beast my job? Thank you, Jackson.
I don't know if you're beasting.
I was going to say, bro, what do you mean beasting, dude? Like, you have energy. It sounds like you got energy because you're crushing energy drinks and you're sending some emails, but you're in sales. Yeah, how do you get your numbers up? I mean, I think I would focus beasting not on doing as many sit-ups, which I am fired up that you're doing sit-ups, and posting up on a stability ball, respecting your core. That's legit. So you're beasting in that regard. But how do you beast better at your job? I'd say meet with someone who works in your position for a long time and ask them for advice. Take them out for coffee, which is an energy drink. Fucking, you know, I don't know how long you've been doing it, but I don't know what type of sales you're in, but it's personality based.
Yeah.
So maybe the energy drinks have you too agitated and you're not patient enough. Maybe dial back a little bit. I don't know. What do you think, Aaron?
Yeah, like you got to really work on your people skills, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You're clearly crushing it on your everything that you can do, but you got to figure out what people want and what they want to hear sometimes.
Yeah. Ask someone, and some companies are different where they're like, they have regions or people are territorial as sales or customers. You know, I used to work at Nordstrom and it was retail and you get territorial to a degree, but it's like, just be like, hey, not stepping on any toes, but I see you do a great job and I'm a little bit behind and you got any advice for me or how I could do it? And everyone's style is going to be different. You know what I mean? Like you're going to have your own sales style and pitch and what comes authentic to you. So, and it sounds like you're into your core. So you can maybe just be like, have a sales pitch like, dude, I don't know what you're selling. Like maybe you're selling, you know, I don't know, software security or something like that. And you're like, look, everyone has a computer and they wonder, why do I need to keep my computer safe? Well, let me give you 6 reasons. Then you fucking whip your shirt off and you show your abs. And instead of giving a PowerPoint presentation, you go, reason number 1. And it's like, what happens on the internet is permanent. Then reason number 2, and you point to another ab and you go, you've got children and they're on the computer and you want to keep them safe. Reason number 3, you know what I mean? And then 2 big reasons, you point at your pecs. You know what I mean? Maybe that's just good. Use your rig, dude. Maybe that's how you are. You're the jacked salesman. I don't know. Sounds freaking legit to me, dude. So I'm fired up on that. I'm fired up for your future, dude. Just keep dialing it in, dude. And you know, never be afraid to ask for questions and stuff. Sometimes we set our own limits. Don't limit yourself, dude. Ask for help. It's okay. It's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of dankness. All right, dude. Aaron, I mean, that's it, dude. Fucking moon, bro.
Yeah.
We're not going to it. Psych, dude, I am into crypto, but I am sick of hearing the phrase going to the moon. So I just wanted to confess that as well. I've been very confessionary today and honest, so I want to really pat myself on the back for that, dude, and do something else to myself because I'm going to prove to my boys that I'm good at it. So other than that, dude, fired up, dude. Questions, comments, suggestions, shout-outs. Email me, shredderwilsonshreds@gmail.com, dude. Have a great thanks. Or this comes out after Thanksgiving, but Aaron, Dank Feast, 5 Guys was dank, dude. Got to admit.
Right on.
All right, dude. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Danktorians, dude. Let